Hi there. On weekends, we do reruns so that yours truly can take a couple days off. Look for a fresh new episode on Monday. Meanwhile, please enjoy this episode for this day from a previous year. I thank you so much for your indulgence and loyalty, and have a great weekend. Good morning. I think I think I'm live. It says I'm live. I don't see it over here, but I guess that doesn't really matter. Hi there, and welcome to this day in history for February 17th. February 17th is the 48th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar, with 317 days remaining to the end of the year, 318 in leap years. We are going to try this live thing again today. I think I have the mic situation ironed out. Please, God, I hope. Just make sure only one mic running. That's good. Okay. And we've got something on the green screen besides green. Since we're live, it's going to be mistakes and all. And my apologies to my viewers who love the pictures because I'm still working on how to get the pictures in the live stream. I know there's a way, but I'm going to have to practice a few non-public broadcasts and get that all figured out. So, pictures and graphics, working on it. So, anyway, today it's just me telling you about things that happened on February 17th throughout history. Practice makes progress. Alrighty then, let's jump on in. Today's word is shrapnel. Shrapnel is an eponym named after an English artillery officer from the 17 and 1800s named Henry Shrapnel. He invented a device he called a spherical case ammunition, which was basically a hollow cannonball filled with lead shot that exploded in the air. The British Army adopted a similar device, and it immediately came to be called shrapnel. The term stuck, and today we know shrapnel is a fragmenting explosive device or bomb or mine or shell fragments. The word shrapnel in this definition came into use in 1803. And with that, we're going to start with Miles Standish. He came over with the English on the Mayflower. He was appointed as the first military commander of the English Plymouth colony in North America on February 17th, 1621. Appointed as the first military commander of the English Plymouth colony in North America on February 17th, 1621. I guess he did a good job because the Plymouth Colony militia continued to elect him to that position for the rest of his life. One of his tactics was to strike in preemptive action. I think his motive was probably to stop trouble before it started or nip it in the bud, and it seems to have been fairly effective, but this was occasionally perceived as unnecessarily brutal. As I mentioned, though, the Plymouth Colony militia continued to elect him as commander for the rest of his life. As he grew older, he switched from an active role to more of an advisory role. And if the name Miles Standish seems familiar to you, you might have heard of a poem by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow called The Courtship of Miles Standish. This poem was written in 1858, over 200 years after today's historical item, and it was a highly fictionalized piece depicting Standish as a timid romantic. Given his approach to matters during his time as a military commander of the Plymouth colony, it seems unlikely that he was all that timid or romantic, but it does make a nice story. This poem was quite popular in the 1800s and rather cemented the role of the Pilgrim story in American culture. Now, you know I mention the Gregorian calendar to you every day of the world when I tell you what day we're talking about and where that day falls in the year. The Gregorian calendar, as I have mentioned before, was introduced by Pope Gregory XIII in 1582. The Gregorian calendar contains some slight modifications and corrections to the previous calendar, which was the Julian calendar that had been introduced in 45 BC. The rollout of the Gregorian calendar took a while to get off the ground. Humans are loath to make changes in their lives. The rollout of the Gregorian calendar was slow and incremental. But on February 17th, 1753, almost 200 years after the introduction of the Gregorian calendar, February 17th was followed by March 1st in Sweden when they switched from the Julian calendar to the Gregorian calendar. The United States House of Representatives passed the Missouri Compromise for the first time on February 17th, 1819. The Missouri Compromise was an act that intended to prohibit slavery in the unorganized territory of the Great Plains, which was a huge area of the growing United States. Great Plains. This area covered all or parts of the present-day states of Iowa, Wisconsin, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming. So the idea was to prohibit slavery in that area, and the compromise was to permit slavery in Missouri and the Arkansas Territory. The Arkansas Territory at that time included present-day state of Arkansas and most of present-day Oklahoma. Probably not the Panhandle, but I'd have to look at a map again. So, I said that was the first time, right? Well, this wasn't any slam dunk bill. There was a great deal of heated opinion about it, lots of discussion and debate, and so that first one didn't get all the way through the process. It would be over a year and a second Missouri Compromise bill before it would be passed and signed by President James Monroe, the Missouri Compromise. This is the birthday of Aaron Montgomery Ward, born February 17, 1843. We're pretty sure it was 1843 that he was born, but another source does suggest 1844, causing a little wave of uncertainty there. We're going to go with 1843 on this one. Mr. Ward was the founder of a company called Montgomery Ward, and that's a story by itself. Montgomery Ward started out as a mail-order catalog in the early 1900s. By and by, automobiles came along and became, not everybody had one, but they became common enough that enough people had them that they might plan a trip to town to go shopping. Someone took notice of this and suggested to Mr. Ward the idea of opening up some stores, like physical bricks and mortar stores. If you had stores, people could go pick up their items or whatever, in stores. For some reason, Mr. Ward was not interested in opening stores. He was not interested. Now, Sears was also a catalog mail order company, and they thought stores sounded like a great idea. So Sears did open stores, and this created an interesting competitive interplay between the two, Sears and Montgomery Ward. Montgomery Ward eventually did end up opening stores, and that venture enjoyed a few decades of success and then waned into near obscurity. I have discovered that you can still shop Montgomery Ward online, though, if you're interested. Mr. Aaron Montgomery Ward lived to the age of 70. On February 17, 1863, a group of citizens in Geneva, Switzerland, founded an International Committee for Relief to the Wounded, which later came to be known as the International Committee of the Red Cross. This is the birthday of American comedian and voice actor known as Larry the Cable Guy, born on February 17th, 1963. Get her done. Now, you might remember that we talked the other day about the chess match between world chess champion Garry Kasparov and the IBM computer Deep Blue. It is on this day, February 17th, in 1996, that Garry Kasparov defeated Deep Blue. And now to our song of the day. Written by John Bon Jovi, Richie Sambora, and Desmond Child, Livin' on a Prayer tells a relatable story of a couple of young adults, Tommy and Gina, who are struggling to get by and finding strength in their love for each other. They encourage each other, saying, "Take my hand and we'll make it, I swear." Great song. Released late in 1986, Livin' on a Prayer became became Bon Jovi's signature song and was certified triple platinum in 2013 with over 3 million downloads. The fictional, one could say, archetypal characters, Tommy and Gina, also get a mention in Bon Jovi's 2000 song, It's My Life. But today we're talking about Living on a Prayer, which we find in its first of 4 weeks in the #1 spot on the Billboard Hot 100, February 17th, 1987. All right, we got through it. We got through it. No coffee spilled, no babies crying. This is great. I'm going to keep working on the dance of putting pictures on here with these live casts. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your loyalty, and thank you for the likes and the views. Let's see what else. I think I have a thing where I can finish up. Like, does that work? No, okay. Well, all right then. I guess I'll just have to say thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.